The song that you hear in the background is just from my phone. Now I'm going to transfer that onto my computer to start working on. Okay, so what I have to do now is I need to transfer. This is not on anything. This was just recorded on my phone. Okay. Okay, so actually before I do that, I think I need to hold on a second. So what you're hearing is the drum and bass in the background. That's what I'm busy working on. I've switched from the music to the art because I also did my master's in art. So I thought, you know, incorporating music with an animation, this is where I am right now, is I'm kind of building up an animation. I'm combining the animation with AI and my personal drawings and sketches, and I'm gonna mold it together. So that's, so call it, if you will, like directing, like I'm my own director type of thing. So you guys are watching me through the process of creating something a little bit more transparent. People always see people doing the animation or the finalized product and then the music in the background, but you never have seen anything like, I don't know too many people who mold the two together because I have both skills. So that's one of the reasons why I decided it's probably good to have a channel like this, is because I saw it as like an opening or a gap, right? So that was my initial concept. So I'm just gonna record like 4 minutes and then send this over to my computer, and then I'm gonna work through like the process. And music is not just like it's not an automatic thing. You sort of have to do it in increments, right? When the same thing applies for art. You have to separate it before you put it together. And what I'm showing on my channel right now is separating all the characters and creating the characters individually and then bringing them together. So that's the art side. The music side is where you're incorporating sounds, and those waves will be placed onto the DAW, and the DAW will then be layered, because that's how you produce music. If you're layering your music in a DAW, like digital audio workstation, and then from there you kind of like add on sections, right? So that's how that works. Now I can send this over to my computer. I can use that as a loop and then just keep it going, right? So I'm gonna do that right now. A whole bunch. I know everybody wants to watch me like play music. This is for the sake of production. Like, I'm doing this because I have to start with a melody. I have a whole bunch of tracks that I've worked on, and I feel as if, since I'm developing an animation, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Since I'm developing, I don't have an, but because I am developing an animation, I need to have a theme, a song. I haven't created like character names. These are character sketches at the moment. So it's just a matter of developing a vision on this. But this is the starting point, right? Let me just repeat this for now. Let's see how long we can. How long is this? This is probably pretty long. I don't know if I need. Oh, actually, it might be enough. Okay. So let's go into. That's closer to how it's supposed to feel, right? this recorded in different ways so that if there are concerns about copyright claims, you have proof that you've done it. You have proof that you've done everything yourself. That's why it's important to have records of everything. I've done my master's in art. I've done performances. I've put exhibitions together. And I know that when you do research, I think the value that I got out of my master's the most was the fact that I learned how to, oh gosh, that I learned how to put projects together, without and making sure that I had evidence that I'd done it. So that's the important part to take away from the production, not production, but the art education. I mean, music is the same way, but yeah, I think the evidence comes with the facts, right? Somebody came up with this whole AI thing, and I was like, there are some people who do nonsense stuff and they produce really crappy AI stuff, and then there are people who actually have technical skills. So I did a whole video on the like separating the fiction and the reality of how things work. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm doing a live for the music, is that I want to show people on a visual perspective what it looks like when you're layering things. You have to multitask. And the reason why I'm so fast with this whole digital art and graphic design stuff is because I studied it. I also studied the arts. You can have more than one skill. I don't think, like, I'm what you call, okay. So if you really have to know, and people always get like weird with me, but it is called a triple threat. Okay, a triple threat is when you have more than one skill and you understand how to put them together, and you can have a conversation in three different areas or more and be okay with it because you know what you're talking about. Versus somebody who only has one skill. That's unfortunate. That's not my problem that they have one skill. They have to practice their skills. As a 46-year-old, you have to be multi-diverse. I don't have any kids. I have a fur baby, but I don't have any physical kids. So I've been able to grow my academic skills in a different way than some people who probably have ended up having kids at a young age. I chose not to do that. That was not my direction. My goal was to get as much education as I could at the age of 46, which is what I did. I wasn't one to stand for having a kid at a young age. That's just how I think. Okay. So whoever's shown up, I appreciate it. Thank you.